Hey there, I'm Scott, and obviously we're not in my home or my kitchen today. We actually got up this morning and drove about an hour out of Portland to the Oregon coast. We're at Cannon Beach, and it is beautiful. And we're gonna play with the dogs this morning and then head over to a really great seafood market, pick up some fresh seafood, take it back to the house, and I'll show you how we prepare it. All right, come on girls. Great morning at the beach. It was nice to have a chance to let the dogs just run off all their energy, walk along the beach, and also go to a great seafood store. And what we ended up buying were some really delicious fresh oysters. And it's always nice to find oysters like this that come right out of the ocean and into your house about the same day. When you bring fresh oysters home, wash those off under cold running water with a stiff brush to remove any loose dirt or sand from them, loose barnacles. And then store those in the refrigerator ice cold until you're ready to eat them. When you get ready to shell them, what you'll need is a towel. I like to nest the shell of the oyster in a towel, and also an oyster knife. You can buy these at any kitchen supply store. And on the oyster, you want to look sort of for the natural point, and there'll be a dimple in there, and that's where you're going to be inserting the tip of the oyster knife. So with a little bit of force, you're going to push that right in, and then with a rocking motion, back and forth with the tip of your knife as you're going to work it in. And once you're able to get the knife inside of the oyster, just run it right along the outside and remove that top shell. It might be a little difficult. There's a muscle in there that holds the shell closed. So you might just want to run the knife through and release it from that muscle. Discard the shells. Rinse your knife off because there might be a little bit of sand on them and you don't want to sort of contaminate the inside of your oyster. And then there's also a muscle along the underside. So what I want to do with my knife is run right underneath the bottom of the oyster, underneath it, and make sure it's completely separated so that when you get ready to serve them, they're going to slide right out. And then these are going to go onto a bed of crushed ice, keeping them ice cold until your guests you're ready to eat them. So let's head over and make some really great sauces. So we got about 12 a dozen of the oysters shelled, and I'm going to show you how to prepare two great sauces to go along with these. These oysters by all means are perfect all by themselves or just with a little squeeze of fresh lime juice, but they're two really fantastic sauces that people love to put on raw oysters. One of those is a classic French sauce called a Mignonette Sauce. It's a pepper sauce with vinegar and black pepper. And what you'll need to get that together is a bowl to mix it all together in. 2 tablespoons of black pepper, about half a cup of very finely chopped shallot, 2/3 of a cup of vinegar. I'm using a red wine vinegar here. You can also use a white wine vinegar. You can also use a champagne vinegar. Really whatever you want, a rice vinegar. They're all good and they all add subtle differences in their flavor. And then a pinch of salt. So basically all you're going to do is combine all of that in a bowl. And then this sauce is just poured, or spooned really, right over a raw oyster right before you serve it. You don't let them sit in the sauce because the vinegar would actually kind of start to cook it. So we combine all of that right into the bowl. We're going to let this sit for just a few minutes before we serve it. For the second sauce, we're going to do a classic cocktail sauce. This is great with the raw oysters. It's also great on any kind of seafood. And what I have, or what we'll need to get together for the recipe is 1 cup of just your household ketchup, 2 tablespoons of prepared horseradish. If you have fresh horseradish, which I could not find, it's preferable, but if you have to use the jar, you can use that. About a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of very fresh lemon juice, half a teaspoon of salt, a dash of Worcestershire sauce, and a dash of freshly ground pepper. So what I'm going to do is combine in the bowl with our ketchup all of the ingredients. The horseradish, the fresh lemon juice, the salt, a little dash of the Worcestershire, and a few grinds of the black pepper. Just combine all of this, let it sit for a few minutes, and then it's ready to serve. So there you have it, a really classic raw oyster presentation that's fantastic for a party, with cocktails, with wine, in the summertime in the backyard. Just make sure you keep those oysters ice cold. And these two great sauces that go great with raw oysters. So let's just give this a taste. I have one that I've had my eye on, and I love both the sauces, but the mignonette is something that I really look forward to having with oysters. So we're going to give this a taste. They might not be the most glamorous food to eat, but they are delicious. So as always, thanks so much for watching, and please feel free to email me if you have a request for a recipe you'd like to see. I'll be happy to do it. My email address is scottinoregon@comcast.net. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.